Welcome to this week's Get Stuff Done sessions, where we're going to be talking a little bit more about these little QR codes. So what is a QR code? Well, I guess in short, these have been around for around about 30 years now. And I guess one of those untapped areas where nobody's really exploited them properly to their full advantage. But we do see them everywhere. We see them in shop windows, the back of your business cards, little links on your social media handles that really point people to come and make a call to action and point people to your specific landing pages, to a phone number, to an email address, or even better to your Google reviews or Facebook reviews, wherever it is that you've got a link that is in the digital space. One of these little systems here, QR codes, will impact and help drive your business forward. Now, it's without further ado that I guess, look, we're a nation of lazy people, I guess, and nobody wants to sit there typing in somebody's web address anymore. We want to do things speedy. We want things click of an action. We want these things to happen now. And this is really where the benefit of a QR code comes in. It's a visual representation. They not only look great, but we can point our little smart devices on them, and that will take us to the source of that QR code. So, within our CRM, within the MyDigiVA CRM system, a great tool for all our clients. But equally, if you're a high-level user, agency owner, you'll find these tools very in the same place, as it's a white-labeled version. So, without further ado, let me take you straight in. Let's show you where these QR codes are and how very easy in 3 short steps how you can get your QR code working for you. So, when you come into the system, you'll see on your left-hand side here your various different options, but what we want to do is navigate down to the sites on the left-hand side panel, and then we will see presented with your top row of menu bars, everything that we can handle and do within the sites within the system. But for this one, we want to click on this one right on the end called QR codes. So once within your QR code, you will see, if you haven't built one already, but here you will see a blank screen or a representation or some little widgets of all your various different QR codes. Now, there is no limit to these. You can have as little or as many as you want, pointing to various different things. So one for landing pages, one for phone, one for an email, one for your reputational reviews management, one for your backdrops on your Zoom recordings and your meetings that you're doing. There really is no end, just as long as you can manage those effectively. But to create a QR code, and we've all seen them, very black and white, very plain and boring QR codes, but actually what we want is some personalisation. We want your brand to pop. You want to stick out from the rest of everybody else's QR code and really have a QR code that is inviting. Hey, what's all that about? There's a little message there, key holder of time. Who is that? What is that? I'm going to scan it and I'm going to have a little look and explore what all that is about. So to do that, let's jump straight in. So we're going to click that little blue button, top right hand corner, generate a new QR code. And in here, 3 very easy steps to follow. The first step is that we want to give it a name, just that coming back to that reference that you can recall what QR code is pointing to what link. So for this exercise, I've already created key holder, but let's call this key holder 2. And then we get to pick what dynamic link is this going to go to. Is it a website, a review link, as I've mentioned, a call, an SMS, or an email? And depending on which one it is, we'll decide as to what link you put in. This will ask you for your phone number, your text number, your email address. But for this exercise, we're going to go dive straight into a website link, one of the most popular to work with. So we're going to select website and head over to the select next button. So here it's saying, okay, well, someone scans it, where are they going to go? So here we're going to get the root source, your website address, wherever it is or wherever the link is that you want to point them to, and we're going to say we're going to head over to my website. Step 2 done. Okay, so here we are. Our QR code is effectively ready. Good to go. Nice, black, white, simple QR code. Everyone recognise one of these. But this is now where we get to really make this personalised, where we can really get into the realms now of deciding that we want to make this dynamic. We want to make some branding. We want to get an injection of your colours and your logos into this QR code. And to do this, we have some personalisation tabs. So here, our first one is this background colour, this little white area around the black and white markers. Now you can change this, you can choose whatever sort of colour that you want, but just word of warning, sort of dark colours on dark colours are really going to make it a little bit more harder and difficult for a phone camera to recognize those colors and that specific QR code. So I would really recommend, where possible, keeping to a very light color, and certainly keeping the transparency really low on here, so it doesn't really impact it too much. Okay, so I'm going to keep mine just white, he says. So 6F gives it the pure white background, but what I do want to change are the dots, the markers, the actual code itself, and these little markers. These really are what we can drive some added impact and some blend into your corporate colours. So to do this, and which is another great feature, and I've covered this over in a different Get Stuff Done session, is your brand boards, where we get to save your logos, your fonts, and your colour hex codes, which we'll need for this example now. And that's another great feature that we have within the CRM. You can see this under your marketing section. Navigate to marketing, brand boards. Most of our clients have these pre-set up for you when you join our CRM system, and here we upload your various different logos, your corporate colours, and your text. So for this one, no one remembers the hex codes, and if you don't, fair play to you, but we're going to copy this little my hex code, and I want to say let's change the colours here in the back of this QR code to my blue. And there we can see it's a dark blue, maybe not quite visual on the screen, but this is now my dark blue corporate colour. And then I'm going to change the dots in my markers, and I want to inject some of my yellow. And here is my yellow hex code, and I'm just going to change this in that hex code, and wham bam, my hex code colours are now starting to bring a little bit of my corporate colour into the fold. Now the last one is that I want to change this little dot in the centre back to the same as the background QR code scanner. So I'm just going to copy that other hex code, put it back here, so the centre piece of my little markers are now in my corporate colours. Looking great so far. This is a great little QR code that can still be downloaded right now and blast out there and get people scanning. But we don't want to stop there, because we want personalisation. We want these to pop. We want the QR code to be inviting. So we have a couple of more personalisation things that we can really add in to a little bit more of the fold here. And what these are essentially are that we can change what we view the markers, if you like. So these dots in the middle, we can add in different shapes, as you can see. There is no one better one that fits all. This is just purely about branding. I kind of like this one, so I'm just going to stick with this last one. But my corporate logo, as you can see, I'm all round circles, so I'm going to change those little circle markers from a square to a circle, but feel free to just have a play, see which one works well for you. And then in the center of those circles, I can either change that to a square or keep it to another round circle. And I'm going to keep that there, but you get what's happening there. Now what we can do for the centerpiece, we can now add in the second to last bit of personalization that we can do on a QR code. And that is where I mentioned earlier, look, if you've got someone pointing to your Google reviews, then we can have a little Google pre-populated logos. You want people going to your YouTube channel for you content creators out there. If you're a WhatsApp fan, you want people going to Facebook pages, LinkedIn, or even your payment links. Hey, click here to make your payment. Great for restaurants and hair salons, etc., etc. You can really start adding in some level of different personalization depending on the QR code that you're creating. But for me, I want to add in my logo in here. So click the little upload. This will, on the CRM, bring up your media library storage, and for the purpose of this, where I've got one saved, I'm going to add in my logo in the center, which looks wonderful. Really is starting to take some shape. Now what we can equally now do, if you wanted to, we can hide away that background if you like. Doesn't really reflect it too well with my image that I've created, but again, depending what you're uploading, it may look good, it may not look good, depending if you on your background. But here I'm going to keep this very fluid, just draws out and focuses on my logo. But for the very last step, if you can see this little grey area, this little square box is a 1080 by 1080 pixel box, a square 1:1 ratio image that we can now add into the background. And this can be any image that you want in the background that makes it a little bit more inviting. That it can be an image, a background of any shape or description. Just give you, let's do a couple of random examples. Some may look good, some may look terrible, but I guess what you get to see is sort of you know, it wasn't a 1080 picture put up, but here we can start seeing we can add in a little bit of put whatever you like in the background, change the transparency of the background, really to make this stand out. And I guess, look, when we come back to here where we remove that background, I was going to say that blends in, but it kind of doesn't, so ignore that bit. So here, yes, we want to change the background. For me, what I'd like on these, so that we don't want too much emphasis taking away from your QR code, I like to have my little call to action at the bottom. What's my invite? What's my enticing message? This can be your company name, it could be your company slogan, your motto, your message of what it is. Give me a review, visit my Facebook group, whatever it may be that you want. And for the purpose of this, I'd recommend, as I said, use Canva, use Photoshop, whichever one of your products that you use to create your photos, but just making sure it's a square photo to make sure that it fits within the background perfectly. And for this one, I've created one. I want to call this a key holder of time. So here's one I've created a little early just to save a little bit of time. I used a white background on a square photo, and at the center, at the bottom of that image, I just added my key holder of time logo statement using the same colors, now blending in with my corporate colors. And here now I have a wonderful dynamic QR code that I can represent. I'm just going to turn this up to the maximum on here, just so this, I really do want to have it sticking out. And that's it. We can download the QR code here. It's ready to go. We can save it, download it in a second, whichever. It doesn't really matter. But what that will do will bring you back to your pre-saved QR codes. Okay. And just at the bottom here, we can see this was my first one. This is the one we've just created here. And if I want, I can just go back and retweak this one. One great thing, because they are dynamic after we've printed them, and I change the URL here, that will, there's no need to create another one for a different URL if one expires. Great for landing pages. It was only limited Black Friday special. It could be a Christmas message, whatever message it was. But now we want that URL to point somewhere else. We just change the URL here, and every time, the next time someone scans that QR code, it will now take to whatever URL that we've got presented here. Okay. The next great thing on here is that we can now start seeing, we can download the said file. It's ready to go. And as I say, you can, if you're here, got your smartphone out now, you scan that, that will take you to my my key holder of time landing page. But look, looks really good. Nothing black and white about this. This is very corporate. Looks really professional. And we can do all sorts now with that QR code. But for those who want to have a deep dive into how well they're doing, hey, let's check my stats, how many people are clicking on it. So if you're doing driven campaigns on these things, those who are protective about, hey, did anyone click my QR code on my network meeting I did when I had it in the background, we can have a look at sort of seeing who is scanning these little QR codes on the fly. So really good to see the analytics of your QR codes as you go through. Yeah, that's, I would say that is a wrap. Look, go and have a play around with these. You can, as I said, have as many or as little as you want. These are really great added feature which you really should start using in your business today. You know, print them off, get them on your business cards, start promoting these on your social media links, your backdrops on your Zoom links, and shop windows if you have bricks and mortar premises. So there is no end of your QR codes. And hey, your clients of mine, then do have a play. Give us a shout if you are struggling to get the perfect QR code working for you. And if you're sort of new to Highlevel, look, we support lots of different agencies in getting their setups done in a Go Highlevel environment. You'll find some links to get hold of me in the comments below. Give us a like and a share. Help us reach our goals of exposing our wonderful Get Stuff Done sessions. So that's a wrap from me today. We very much look forward now to seeing you over in our next Get Stuff Done session. Have a great day.